Can you imagine walking into a church and finding a priest who's a TikTok sensation, not because of his sermons, but because grandmothers compare him to a telenovela heartthrob? Well, yes, he exists. His name is Father Jordan, and his church in England went from empty to overflowing with young people who attend Mass with a single purpose: to see him in person. But this isn't an isolated case. It's the tip of the iceberg of a phenomenon that's transforming the sacred into viral content. Today, you're going to discover how historical events and then the deepest religious symbols are being devoured by the digital entertainment machine. And no, I'm not going to judge whether that's right or wrong. I just want you to see with me what's happening. Think about it for a moment. We went from having untouchable religious figures, surrounded by solemnity and stained glass, to seeing them as memes in our feed while having breakfast. The other day, a priest in Las Vegas, Father Adam Kotas, was baptizing a Mexican baby named Matthew and dropped this gem. Even if you name him Matthew, you can always see the cactus on his forehead. The video exploded. Millions of views, thousands of comments, some laughing, others outraged. And in the middle of all that discussion, a religious ceremony became just another spectacle. This isn't new, but the speed at which it happens today is. Gen Z, the generation that grew up with a phone in their hand, has done something unthinkable. They've memeified even the election of a pope. When Pope Francis died and the Conclave began to choose his successor, social media didn't fill with prayers, but with memes. Suddenly, the Cardinals locked in the Sistine Chapel were being compared to reality show contestants. The Sistine Chapel sleepover, some called it. Basically a work convention where you get paid to gossip, said others. And among all those cardinals, the internet chose its favorite, Filipino Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. The reason? A viral video where he sang John Lennon's Imagine, another where he danced, another where he joked about his 3 favorite Polish words: sausage, gingerbread, and vodka. Suddenly, Tagle became the character of the conclave. There were edits, fan arts, and even something called Tagle Core. Traditionalists jumped in. This is a scandal. They're turning a sacred process into a mundane spectacle. But young people responded with something powerful. The guy sang a song about world peace. If that's the worst they can say about him, he'd make an excellent pope. And here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just youthful irreverence. It's a new way of connecting with the sacred. In Taiwan, young people create Christian memes on Instagram to talk about their faith. An image of Jesus with a coffee in hand and text saying the Lord is with you today too, even at the office. It sounds superficial, but for many, it's a gateway to deeper conversations. In Peru, a woman prayed every day to a picture of comedian Jorge Luna, mistaking him for Saint Martin de Porres. Her daughter discovered it, and the video went viral. Is that disrespect? Or is it simply faith adapting to the codes of each era? Because let's not fool ourselves, the Church itself is playing this game. In July 2025, the Vatican summoned over 1,000 Catholic influencers to Rome. Priests, nuns, lay people, all with one goal: to become digital missionaries. There are priests who DJ electronic music in cathedrals, like Father DJ Gilherm in Slovakia, who got thousands of young people dancing in front of St. Elizabeth Cathedral with laser lights and electronic beats. There are Brazilian nuns who go viral beatboxing on television. There are priests in Houston filling auditoriums with rock, rap, and country concerts, then uploading the highlights to TikTok. And then there's the metaverse. Yes, you read that right. On Roblox, there's a community called Roblox Filipino Catholics, where young people build virtual churches, organize processions, and celebrate Mass with avatars. On Minecraft, there are projects like Minecraft Church that bring players together to listen to biblical reflections after building together. Theologians are already talking about a possible Catholic metaverse, because if people work, socialize, and play in immersive worlds, Why wouldn't they pray there too? But this has a dark side, or at least a debatable one. When a meme about a cardinal goes viral, are we bringing faith closer to people, or are we emptying it of content? Because the language of memes is fast, fragmented, emotional. It seeks the immediate like, not deep reflection. A study on religious memes on Reddit found that people connect more through shared religious experiences than through doctrine. That is, humor and cultural identity weigh more than theology. And here comes the controversial element, the one I want you to take away and discuss with me. Are we witnessing a necessary reinvention of religion, or its transformation into just another entertainment product? Because when a priest becomes famous for his looks, when a nun goes viral for beatboxing, when a conclave is experienced as a reality show, the line between the sacred and the profane blurs. And I don't know about you, but it fascinates and unsettles me at the same time. Some argue that this is simply using the media of each era. What were once processions, later Catholic radio, today are TikTok and memes. The message remains the same, only the channel changes. But others warn of the danger. When you reduce a sacrament to a 30-second video, what gets lost along the way? Where is the mystery, the silence, the depth? What is certain is that memes have become a way of collectively processing what happens to us, even the most sacred things. In Venezuela, for example, there's the cult of the Corte Malandra, where deceased delinquents are venerated as saints who protect devotees. And this imagery, a mix of popular religion and neighborhood culture, now circulates as memes on Instagram, connecting a diaspora scattered around the world. It's a way of dealing with violence, with absence, with identity. Through memes, the unspeakable becomes shareable. So the question isn't whether religion should or shouldn't be on the internet. It's already there. The question is what happens to it when it enters. Whether humor can be a gateway to faith, as Pope Francis said, there is faith in humor. Or whether, on the contrary, we are turning the sacred into just another product to be consumed and discarded in the infinite scroll. I don't have the answer, but I do know one thing. Religious virality and memes are here to stay. And what we're seeing with influencer priests, beatboxing nuns, and memeified conclaves is just the beginning. Next time you see a video of a dancing priest or a meme of a cardinal, ask yourself, does this bring closer or empty out? Is it faith or is it spectacle? Or maybe it can be both at the same time. Because in the end, as an old proverb they've been quoting these days says, a cheerful heart is good medicine. And if memes can cheer the heart, maybe, just maybe, they can also open a door to something bigger. Now, I want to know your opinion. Do you think these memes and viral videos bring religion closer to people, or turn it into a caricature? I'll read you in the comments. And if this video made you think, even just a little bit, like and share it. See you in the next one.